Good evening and welcome back to Mo's channel. Today, April 21st, 2020. We're still in the midst of coronavirus hell. Check this out, my nigga. I believe in logic. And in college, you take a class called Logic. I don't know, Logic 101, whatever. And one of the things they teach you is that for an argument to be valid, the premises must equal the conclusion. For an argument to be true and valid, the premises must equal the conclusion, and the premises must be factually true. So, when you watch everything that's going on, all right, let's talk about hydrochlorine. I'm not a pharmacist, so I can't say yes or no, it works or it doesn't work. So I'll just relate what I've read. In one instance, you read that the World Health Organization recommends hydrochlorine. And today, I'm on CNN's site, and I see a story that Tom Hanks, his wife was taking hydrochlorine. Then I read somewhere else that hydrochlorine was proven effective. And then I read all these other stories that hydrochloroquine ain't shit. So you got 10 people here saying this shit works, and 5 people here saying this shit doesn't work. Number one. Number two. Oh, the curve is flattening. We're about to get out of the woods. We could start thinking about reopening the economies, right? About a week or two ago. That was a story. Then, we're going to have second spikes and third spikes and fourth spikes, and it's going to be hell during the winter. Then there's going to be 200,000 dead, and we're going to have to convert convention centers to hospitals and blah, 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 blah. And then it won't be as bad as we thought it was going to be. I can understand planning for the worst. You know, in the military, when we go out on missions, we plan for the worst. A lot of times, our colonels, our generals, make these plans and we're not made aware of them because they don't want to scare the shit out of us. So we go in a zone, we get pinned by a machine gun fire, we're like, oh man, we fucked up, but bam, they come and get us. We didn't know. So you look at a lot of these things and you really start to ask yourself, was the purpose to scare the shit out of Americans? Was the purpose to conduct some sort of a sociological experiment in how much people are willing to sacrifice their liberties to conduct an experiment in how you can modify, alter the social dynamics of an environment? Don't get me wrong. This is a killer virus. That's a fact. That is a fact. That is a one fact, that this is a killer virus. There are many unknowns. There are many untruths. There's a lot of misinformation. The other day, I read this crazy notion, herd immunity, that if a lot of people get the disease, then everyone else becomes immune, which doesn't make any fucking scientific sense. Please, journalists, go out there, research these terms and get the facts right before you write your fucking stories. The concept behind herd immunity is not that I'm going to get immunity from a disease because you have immunity or because you had the disease. That is stupid. Biology does not work like that. You gain immunity by having the disease, fighting the disease, and your body producing antibodies. That's how you get immunity. The whole concept behind herd immunity is that if you have a population of 1,000 people and 700 of those 1,000 have either gotten the disease or been vaccinated against the disease, the probability of that disease spreading is significantly lessened. It's not a matter that everyone in that society, that the 300 that did not get the disease automatically get immunity. No. The probability of them getting infected is significantly reduced because 700 are immune. That is herd immunity. Get your facts right, journalists. God damn. That's all I'm saying. I've been a Marine, Special Forces, Force Recon. 90% of the places the U.S. government has sent me, I have officially never been to. 90% or even 95% of the things that I have done under the direction of the President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief, 95% of the things I've done have never been done. And that's just not me. That's the Navy SEALs. That's the Delta Chameleons. That's other recon, Marine Corps Force Recon. That's snipers. There's a lot of shit that goes on in this world that you will never fucking know happened. Ever. A lot of fucking shit. In a sense, it's better for you. But it is because of what I've done in my past. And I had a secret clearance. I had a security clearance. Not top secret, but secret. And a lot of the shit that they classify, I can't talk about it, but it don't even make sense why they want to hide that from the American people. I'm starting to believe that there's a battle going on at a very, very high level. Beyond the level of governments of nations. There's a battle going on between two entities, forces, whatever. One entity wants to completely change the world. So they want to shut everything down. Everything that you knew, they want to destroy. It's not Democrats, it's not Republicans. It's beyond them. Another entity wants to get shit back to normal. And this is a battle that's brewing. Up here, up here, up here. We're down here. Your governments are over here. This battle is up here. Who these entities are, who these forces are, I don't fucking know. What the end game is, I don't fucking know. What is really going on? Because right now I'm convinced this is more than just some fucking virus. There's something much, much fucking deeper going on. We might never, ever know. Even if this entity that wants to change everything wins and everything changes, we will never know there was a battle going on. If everything goes back to normal and this change entity fails, we still will never know that there was a battle, the fundamentals of that battle, and how it came about. I'll just say this. Has anyone ever read about a time in the history of mankind when human beings were not ruled? When we didn't have governments or kings or dictators or chiefs or sultans or emperors? Can anyone think of a time when the concept of rulership did not exist? Because if we could go back to that time in history and find those societies that did not have rulers and study and understand those societies and how they functioned successfully without rulers, then we as humanity could gain true liberation and get rid of all these fucking governments. Something is being hidden from us. And right now, I think it has to do with this battle that's going on. I want to move on. One way or the other, by September, some form of normalcy would have been restored. What does that mean? You have May, June, July, August. People who are unemployed, a full 20 million people, a full 20 million of them are receiving about $1,000 a week for not working. What are people doing with their time during this shutdown? See, this is when you really start to realize that there has been a great divide in America. And that divide is not about the rich and the poor, the pretty and the ugly. That divide is about the productive and the lazy. What is a lazy person doing during this time period? You're getting $1,000 a week for doing nothing. What are you gonna do? Play video games, get on Facebook, Instagram. So now you have the lazy, the pretentious, the conceited, the vain, now living in fantasy world, funded by Uncle Sam. If you're a productive person, this is the time. This is the time to get ahead. Never before in the history of the world has time stood still. It ain't moving, it's still. Everything is shut down. If you're an athlete, what can you do during this period of time? Perfect your skill. If you're a quarterback, ask yourself, where's my weakness? Am I weak in the pocket? Am I weak shuffling my feet? Am I weak in the quick release? Do I not have enough power in the ball? Do I not have a tight enough spiral? Because the tighter the spiral, the more accurate the ball and the faster the ball flies. So you want that tight spiral. Is my run and shoot game weak? Can I scramble like Russell Wilson? How good am I at reading the defenses? Sit down, Mr. Quarterback. Analyze your game. Look at the best and see how they performed. Then ask yourself, they're here, where am I? I'm here. What will it take for me to get from here to there? This is the time to do it. Ain't no summer camp coming up. Ain't no dealing with scouts, with coaches. None of that. This is the time to focus on your fucking quarterback game and make it excellent like it's never been. If you're a basketball player, where's your weakness? Is it the J? What about the J are you weak at? When you come in for a shot, are you dropping? Building that momentum? Then hopping up, springing up, jumping off the ground, and then transferring that momentum into the ball and then following through? Are you doing that? Is your shot accurate? Is it way off or is it just slightly off? Or maybe you just hitting the front of the rim and it drops out. Maybe you just need to push it a little bit higher. Maybe you're cutting it short, just elevate it a little. Or maybe you're hitting the back of the rim and it drops out. What are you doing wrong? Put the spin on that ball. How do you do that spin? Roll it. Little things you can work on your handles. You got two motherfuckers. You beat one, you come back. Are you giving him time to recoup and shut you off down there? So you got to explode out. Little things to work on. Rebounds. Do you find yourself every time you get up there, you're just a little short, maybe someone else's hands are over you? You need to work on your hops. Little things that turn one into a Jordan as opposed to an average player. Little things. If you're a soccer player, where are you weak at? Shots on goal? Are those stationary? Are those dynamic, mobile shots that you're taking on goal? Is that where your weakness is? And even if you're making your shots on goal, you don't want to hit, if this is a goal, you don't want to hit center. You want to hit corners. Makes it harder for that goalie to get that shit. Do you need to work on that? Maybe your dribbles are off or slow. Your cuts ain't quick enough. Maybe you're leading. And hence your defender knows, oh, he's going to go this way because you're leading. They can anticipate you. You don't ever want your defender to be able to anticipate you. Surprise them. Shock them every time. If you're a boxer, how tight is your jab? How tight is your cross? Are you using your legs when you jab? When you cross, is your legs in there? Are your lats in there? Pa! Is your shoulder in there? Are you throwing that punch? Little things. Are your hands up? Is your chin tucked? How's your footwork? Can you cut out, cut in? Hop back, hop in? How's your defense? Can you counter? Can you? Little things you can work on right now. And I could say the same about baseball, pitching, batting. See, athletics is about mastery. When you start off, 5 years old, 6 years old, Little League, Pee Wee League, Pop Warner, you're just learning the gross movements. As a quarterback, or just get the ball out there. As a basketball player, or just get the shot out there. As you advance, you start to understand the intricate details involved in the movements. You start to break the movements down. And then when you master each specific, minuscule element of that movement, that's when you become a master of the sport. So to all you athletes, real athletes, as in either you play in high school, college, or professional. If you're boxing, either you're an amateur or professional. So to all the real athletes out there, take these 4 months, May, June, July, August. It's now getting warm outside. Even in Alaska, it's getting warm. Even on the North Pole, the goddamn motherfucking polar bears are out there in bikinis, my nigga. Big ass, let's not go there. Take this time, Mr. Athlete. Hone your skill. Perfect your skill. In addition, conditioning. Get out there, do your sprint drills, do your agility drills, zigzags, star, the box, all that shit. Do your hop drills. You do that. May, June, July, August. Come September, when we start playing sports again, you will be 100 times better than you were in March. Musicians, whether you play the guitar, play the drums, play the sax, play the trumpet, play the bass, play the violin, whatever instrument you play the piano, requires mastery of skills. I mean, if you look at the guitar, you got the different chords, and you got transition from this chord to this chord to this chord to that chord. You got to practice that shit such that you can hit that shit without looking at the neck. If you're running lines, you got to be able to feel where that fret is. If you're doing string bends, pull-offs, you got to be able to master that shit. The drums the same, sax the same, and accidentals and all that shit. The piano chords, blah, blah, trills. This is the time, Mr. Musician. 4 months, May, June, July, August. Sit down with your instrument or instruments and master them. Practice over and over and over till your fucking brain blows up. Because come September, you'll be bad as shit. bad as fucking shit. The writers, screenwriters, authors, you write novels, you write children's books, you write nonfiction. Master your skill. Plot development, character development, dialogue, description, suspense. How can you ingrain more of that into your writing? If you're a nonfiction writer, what topics can you explore? Think about it. You got 4 months. Come up with 4 topics. Do research on all those topics. By September, you're writing. You got it all laid down. Bam, bam, bam. By October, you got 4 nonfiction books out. Bam. My nigga. My nigga. If you're a businessman, I'm going to tell you something. Right now, when this shit opens up, the business world will change. There's a lot of things a lot of people are not thinking about. A lot of things. Number one, if I'm a Fortune 100 company and I have a corporate office and I'm leasing 40,000 square feet of space at $10 a month, that's $400,000 a month I'm spending. During this incident, I realized that, you know what? I could still operate a full capacity with all my fucking employees working from home. What if I reduced my office space by 75%? I save $300,000 a month. A lot of companies are going to come out of this and change their business models. Come September, come October, the vacancy rate in commercial real estate, office buildings, skyscrapers, come September, October of this year, assuming that by September everything's back up to 100%, the vacancy rate in commercial real estate will be at least twice what it was before. A lot of these companies that manage and own these properties are paying loan payments each month. They borrowed money to buy those properties. They borrowed money on the assumption that they would attain at least a 70-80% occupancy rate. He knocked that down to 20%. You're going to have situations where in the downtowns of this country, in the major metropolitan areas, New York, LA, Boston, DC, Atlanta, and so forth, you're going to have 30% of the people that used to be there. Those businesses that relied on those business customers are going to suffer. Downtown real estate is going to suffer. commercial real estate is going to suffer. You are likely going to see a lot of real estate management companies going bankrupt because corporations will come to the realization that we do not need to spend as much money as we used to spend on office space anymore. A lot of changes. But you see, this is a time of opportunity. And as business people, as entrepreneurs, you seek opportunities and work to profit from those opportunities. The wise restaurant owner will sit back and say, hold up. On a regular day, prior to covd, I was making $5,000. With a lot of people sitting in my premise. During covd, on a regular day, I was making $3,000, doing a lot of delivery shit. I got this restaurant that I'm paying $3,000 a month for. Maybe if I reduced the size of my restaurant by half and amped up my delivery, my profitability will go up. Retail organizations. I had this big 1,000 square foot space. No, not 4,000 square foot space. I'm in a prime area, so I'm probably paying $15 per square foot. I got 4,000. That's $60,000 a month. I've been making a lot of money off of online orders. What if I changed my business model? Instead of leasing 4,000 square feet, I lease 600 square feet. Instead of paying $60,000 a month, I pay $9,000 a month. Now, my retail space is where you come and feel, experience, review the merchandise. Maybe I could have a virtual reality thing or some kind of interactive contraption where the customer can interact and feel the merchandise. If they like it, they could order it. It's in back stock, we bring it. Or you order online. A lot of smart businesses, a lot of smart business owners are going to alter their business models. But at the same time, Mr. Entrepreneur, who's sitting at home, bored as shit, because you're real and you don't play video games and get caught up in Facebook and Instagram. You live in reality. May, June, July, August. What could you do within that time? You could research different business proposals. You could run different financial simulations. You could generate business models. You could generate business plans. You could develop websites. Do you understand what I'm saying? Let's say you're sitting there, you say, you know what, I've always wanted to start a business. And you know shit gonna be opening up bit, starting in May. And you know the majority of motherfuckers out there ain't gonna want to be working because they're getting $1,000 a week. So they don't want to work. They're happy, they're lazy, waste their time. Fuck them. Imagine working 80 hours a week. May, June, July, August. 80 hours a week. These companies will be desperate for employees. So let's just say $16 an hour. 80 hours a week. That's almost $1,200 a week. You average 4.5 weeks a month. Say $5,000 a month. 4 months, $20,000. Go out there for 4 months. Bust your ass working 2 jobs. Ain't really shit to do anyway. Bust your ass. Come September, you got 20,000. You know the commercial real estate market is going to be hurting. So property where you might have had to pay $10 a square foot, you could probably get it for $5 a square foot. What business do you want to start? Start planning it. Start doing research. As you work in those 80 hours a week, you're putting it together. By the time September rolls around, you got your 20 grand. Launch your business. The lazy motherfuckers that was playing video games on YouTube, Facebook, and whatever the fuck else, fuck them. Fuck them. Real estate. Now's the time, like I said, stay away from commercial. I would not touch commercial real estate until at least December or January of next year. Because you want to know, where does this shit stand? Like I said, I suspect the vacancy rate is going to be very high. Will it recover? I don't know. So stay away from commercial real estate for right now. If you get in January, that's when all these owners are going to be defaulting. A lot of the properties are going to be going into foreclosure. And you could go out there and get a property they might have paid $1 million for. You'll get it for $200,000. I'm not lying. Commercial real estate is going to be fucked up. Governments need to think about that. But if you want to build an apartment building, if you want to be a real estate investor, bust your ass for 4 months. Stack up 20 grand. All right? In September, remember, you're not going to get a house loan off of unemployment. A bank is not going to loan you money to go buy a house based on your unemployment income. So if you got 20 million Americans out of the home buying market, and when all is said and done, it'll probably be 30, 35 million out of the home buying market. That is easily 15 to 20% of the fucking workforce unemployed. You have no competition when it comes to buying properties. Property values are going to go down. So, you got 20 grand. And during those 4 months, work to improve your credit rating. You're employed, they're unemployed, so it's easier for you to improve your credit rating. In 4 months, you got 20 grand. That duplex that might have gone for 250 is now going for 180. 10% down is 18,000. Put down the 18,000. You got that property. Live in one unit, rent out the other unit. At the end of September, you're still working. Now you're not paying rent, but you're still working, and you're not paying mortgage because that other unit is paying the mortgage. At the end of September, you stacked up another 2-3 grand. Invest in your property. You bought it for 180, you invest in it, you take its value to 220. You got 40,000 equity. Listen, man. The coronavirus, and I do not celebrate it. My sympathies, my condolences to each and every motherfucking individual who has lost a loved one during this bullshit. I feel for you. I feel for you. And I hope you can get over it. I've lost loved ones too, so I know what it feels like. So my best wishes to you in this time of mourning. However, when you look at it on a grander scale, this shit has the potential to change America forever, to change the world forever. And not how these politicians are talking about a new norm. I'm talking about, because of this shit, the fake, the lazy, the entitled, the pretentious, the vain, the narcissistic, the do-nothing, the worthless, the shit motherfuckers, the little suburban, little nerd ass, little homo shit motherfuckers are gonna be swept to the side. And this is a time for the real motherfuckers, the real athletes, the real musicians who know what a treble clef is, what a bass clef is, what a quarter note is, what a 16th note is. The real entrepreneurs, the real writers, creators, the real business people, the real developers, the real motherfuckers are now going to step up. And the fake garbage shit loser nerds, they're going to be out there with their little Facebook and their little video games and the little social media out there. It's a cleaning of house. To all you real motherfuckers, let us take this shit back. Let us take this shit back. By January 2021, all these little fake shit motherfuckers, little video game playing, little Facebook, whatever social media garbage, pretentious little suburban nerd shit homo rat motherfuckers by 2021 January. Let's send them back to the fucking rocks from which they crawled. And let's take this shit back. 'Cause I'm tired of this fake shit. Let's make this real. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless. Good motherfucking night. And fuck you, coronavirus mother shit fucker. Bye-bye, bitches.